Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's edition of Beyond Sports Podcast, where we BS about the sports. Sam wasn't even ready, but that's okay.
No, I wasn't. You don't warn me. You just are like,
hey, we gotta catch
you
up
off guard
guard.
every once in a while.
Gotta get you what you at least expecting.
Royals went off
Speaking
for 11 runs today.
Oh,
what?
So they're now 1-2.
Oh, yeah.
but their very
It
first
is.
at bat was a home run.
That's
Their
true.
very first at bat, yes.
It was
started
the
off
only
so
run
well.
of that game. And then
They-
the next
yeah.
game, they only scored one again.
Yeah, they have not done well.
Our first game started out offensively the best you can do, right? Just a leadoff home run. And then we promptly go 27 straight.
Hey, well,
Not
at least we're
scoring.
not the White Sox.
27
They
outs
haven't
straight.
scored a run yet. The furthest they've made it is first base.
Ooh,
They're the only team that hasn't made it home yet.
Ooh, that's bad. That's harsh. But
I
don't know about today,
Made it past first base.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
today,
true.
I mean,
They're only-
obviously, we scored 11 runs today, so we probably.
well, this was the White Sox I'm talking about.
Oh, the White Sox.
White Sox haven't made it past
Yeah, no,
first
not
base.
us.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my, wait, the White Sox hadn't made it at all.
That was
Like-
before today's game. I haven't checked today's game. If they played today.
I'm looking now. I mean,
It was literally, I was going to send it to you guys, but I lost it when I went to save it. But it was literally, it had first, second, third base and home. And it said where all teams have made it so far. White Sox were on first. Everybody else was at home.
Yeah, I saw that too.
that's horrendous.
Yeah, that's not good.
That
Well, I have
coach,
to start
that
this
coach needs to be sitting there feeling like he is on death row.
Yeah. Oh, boys. Let me see. Is it right here? Yeah, look at this. I know we're recording, but
White Sox scored 2 runs today. Nice.
Awesome.
That's sick.
came from a Scholastic Book Fair.
They still lost, but
Still have those,
They
apparently.
scored 2 runs, so they have now made it home.
Okay. So
hey.
they did better today, I guess.
Yeah. I mean,
Look,
they
man,
only
you
had
know.
up to go.
Offense starts off slowly beginning of the year. You know, you guys are still trying to find that ball, right? Like they're find their swing. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Like give them some time.
I think as Royals fans, y'all should not be
No,
making
We
fun
can't.
of someone else's offense.
we can't really
We
talk.
scored 11 today.
I barely like baseball, so can I make fun of whatever I want?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. I'm just here so I don't
Yeah,
get.
because I'm in that boat as well.
Yeah. I mean, like, it's fun when the Royals are good, and I will watch them and enjoy them.
Yeah.
I like to have baseball
Royals
on in
fan
the
than anybody
background.
else.
You know. Anyways,
Anyway,
we should probably talk about something else. Like Rasheed Rice is having a great day.
oh, I'm glad he is because he's ruined everybody else's.
He's ruined everybody's
Ruined
Easter.
ours. Thanks a
Uh,
lot, dickhead.
Did he though? Like,
Yeah.
what did he really do?
He ruined everybody's Easter. Look, my dog attacked a bunny's nest in our backyard, and that was not the worst thing to happen on Easter. Okay. Sorry, it was. It was,
What an Easter thing to have happen today.
dude. It was weird. Oh, 5 little
Daughter
bunnies.
didn't see it, did she?
She didn't see it
Oh
happen
no.
or nothing. She didn't see it happen, but she did know that. So it wasn't so bad because like they were in the net. So my dog got to 2 of them basically. There was a third one that was like injured, but it should be okay, and then 2 more that were fine. So we're hoping the mama comes back. We kept the little nest and we've got it barricaded off, and we were able to take one of the. They were able to take the little injured one to the Lakeside Nature Center. Up on Swope Park and whatnot, that area. anyways, and they took the injured bunny. And if the mama doesn't come back for the other ones, we can take those ones up there.
Well done.
So yeah. But it was a fucking thing to happen on Easter, man.
What an Easter.
Yeah.
Bunnies, dude. So anyways,
Anyways, but yeah, so
but Rasheed Rice had to ruin everybody else's Easter.
what a dick. What a
You know?
I
dick.
really don't. I don't think it was that bad of a big a deal.
I'm saying
It
that it's not-
probably
I mean, it's
not
not
gonna be as big as everybody. We have to
I
wait.
saw
till the
people saying, "Oh, he's done for
No.
forever," and then I see people saying 10 games. I'm like,
no.
it's the NFL.
We don't know how far if he was behind the wheel of the vehicle. Obviously, his mistake was he left the scene.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, don't leave. the
If he
scene.
was driving the car, that's a problem.
oh, absolutely, absolutely. All we know as of right
That might be a whole season.
We don't know yet. By the time this comes out, you might
But
know. We don't
again,
know
like,
yet.
The video footage suggests shows him getting out of the back seat of the SUV after the crash.
All right. Well, so let's hope not. But dumb either way. Like either way, like what do you come on? What are you guys doing? Why are we getting into,
Have you ever been in a car with somebody and they just take off?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Did you feel like you had any control of that situation?
No.
Anything you say was going to slow you?
I mean, if you own the car, maybe. Well, I didn't own the car. Like,
yeah,
I don't know
you
if-
didn't own that car.
I don't know. Like, it's not right. It's he owned the
Now-
other one. But he owned the other one, right? He owned the other car that was getting into the race with it. So it seemed like maybe if that other person driving his vet, do you think they don't have maybe permission to maybe do that, or like they were feeling out the situation?
Yeah,
I
see,
don't know.
that's the thing. They're going to have to come up with a good story as to why all this happened because
Yeah,
because honestly, what I think is like it's probably a situation where she told these guys to race,
I mean,
or he knew it was about to happen and had the
I don't
option
think.
to
Let's not be naive
exit the
about it,
vehicle
right?
or say no.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he is obviously.
However, I hope they're concocting a good story with his lawyer as to why all
I'm-
that
I
happened.
mean, hopefully
I'm sure
whatever
that's-
it's true.
It's the thing is, it's going to be hard to convince them that two cars that know each, like obviously they were traveling together,
Right.
that these guys just instinctively let's go.
Let's
Like,
go. Right. You're not going to do that driving somebody else's car, right? Like,
Well, and like they're going to interview witnesses on like what was going on leading up to that, like before they even got on that highway. How were they driving?
and I
Like
think that's.
a lot of things are going to come out about
think
this.
we haven't.
Access traffic lights.
I just think all of it really boils down to can you put Rasheed behind the wheel, and I don't think it's going to happen.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. But I think
If
today,
they're
yeah,
able to
we
get
don't.
traffic lights of it, then we'll find out.
Right. I think we don't know what's happened yet. It's just because Rasheed's probably talking to his lawyer all day today, right?
I'm so happy nobody died or was seriously hurt.
But I mean, that's the fucking thing. Like we've seen this shit happen where people
right.
have died, and like it could ruin your whole career. I don't know why you decide to do this the year at like you had such a good rookie year, Super Bowl, and you're gonna risk all that shit for. I don't know.
That's
Never
the thing.
mentioned-
It
Let's also not forget he is
like
a
we don't know him, but from what
He-
like from what I've
Yeah.
seen, it seems out of character.
But
He
he
gets-
is.
But this is also a case where like you probably just hanging out with the wrong dudes.
It could be, and I mean, he's also
ultimately, he's a young
23,
23-year-old.
right? Something like that. 24. He's not.
We
He's
all
young
did
and
some
dumb.
stupid shit back then.
Yeah, I was much dumber at that age. But I mean, you got. Hopefully, this will. Hopefully, he'll learn. Hopefully, he's gonna learn.
Yeah. You hope.
I will say that like if you're a passenger in that situation and everyone else that was in both vehicles takes off, are you gonna stand there and fucking take the heat? Like 100 people out of 100 are also going to take off.
Oh, I mean,
Like after the crash happens and everybody fucking takes off, like
Oh, that's true. I mean, I don't know. We'll see what happens there. But I
Yeah,
think
I don't. We don't know. Yeah, I think that I
you still have a responsibility to do that. Especially, come on, man. Come on. You're like that car's under your name. You are a high profile individual, right? Like you just had a great rookie season with the Super Bowl team. Like, but again, young and dumb, right? You're young, you do stupid shit like that.
and if
And
I'm
hopefully
a
you
lawyer,
learn.
I'm to say who's to say he wasn't concussed? Didn't know what happened, didn't know what he was doing.
That's
He
true.
wasn't driving. He
He
wasn't
just got
driving.
he just got into a wreck.
Yeah.
You are pretty shaken after that. But hey man, we'll see. See what happens. Try not to judge yet until I got the full story.
yeah.
And then
We'll know more, unfortunately, tomorrow.
probably by the time this comes out,
We'll
probably.
hear something more about it tomorrow.
That's true. Here's the
Something else we have
statement from you.
other news that happened with the Chiefs. It's a little bit older,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but
But
we haven't had a chance to say
It was
goodbye.
actually just made official a couple days ago.
True.
Legarius Sneed
Yeah, Sneedy.
going bye-bye.
Yeah.
For a third round next year and a seventh round pick swap this year, which I know a lot of people are upset about. I don't think anybody loves it, but I think we also know that there probably wasn't much else we could do. Like this should be better than um the comp pick that we would have gotten next year if we didn't sign free
All
agency,
similar
right? All
with
that bullshit.
with Philadelphia and Hassan Reddick that we're about to talk about, but I just
Here's the-
they traded him for a 2026 third round pick that can become a 2026 second round pick.
Pick. Okay.
So like you see, like they deferred it 2 years. The Chiefs deferred it 1 year. I mean,
1 year.
makes it more plausible to me that the L'Jarius Sneed trade is a part of another move that's potentially coming.
Maybe. I mean, it'd be
So
great, but
the thing is, this was always going to be the level of compensation. And that's because the Titans still have to pay him. Or
pay
still have
him,
to pay
right?
him.
I
Yeah,
know.
and there is
No
risk
team likes
involved.
trading
And it
away
was a lot of fucking
picks
money. Like they're giving
and
him
signing big
55
contracts.
over 3.
I get it. I get it. It's
Plus,
just not like
plus the Chiefs did him a solid with the way they did everything, and he still gets that the guaranteed money from the salary tag.
oh no shit. Well, look
Yeah.
at that. Ain't that special?
So he still gets that check.
But hey, either way, I'm gonna miss him, right? Like, thank you for your time, Sneed. That's fine. Thanks for those two Super Bowls for the back to backs.
Yeah, no, I'm super happy though. We've got a whole bunch of cap space we can play with.
Yeah,
We do.
We sent him to a non-contender team.
It's true. Sorry,
I think
Titans,
we can
but
take that pick, package it with our first round pick to maybe go with the Lions to get up ahead of Baltimore, because there's been Baltimore's starting to get mocked to it with McConkey to get ahead
Yeah.
of them. That's
So
what I'm
there's
saying.
I
the thing.
mean,
My thing with McConkey, like I really like him, but I don't think he's going to be the guy we pick because we have so many guys that do exactly what he does. And one of the things when you watch McConkey on film is he's like he's got that good first step, but he does not like dudes like corners can catch up pretty easily. He doesn't
I
have
mean,
like good breakaway speed. So and that's that
I know,
that
but
that just
Andy
screams slot
Reid,
receiver, and that's not what I don't think that's what we're trying to do.
Andy Reid loves his slot receivers.
That's
Okay,
all.
Yeah, but that's clearly not what we need.
all right.
Like we
I
just
mean,
got
We might need one. We might need to replace one that did stupid shit. What
we
did we
don't
do
know.
after Tyreek Hill did his stupid shit?
Yeah.
We drafted a dude who projected that we wanted to be the next Tyreek Hill.
Now was he? No, but did
Oh.
he catch the game-winning ball in a Super Bowl? He did. Did.
By the way, speaking of Tyreek Hill, did you see this shit where he was talking to Brandon Marshall about how he had some of the best hands in the NFL history?
Who did?
Tyreek.
Brandon Tyreek Hill.
Tyreek Hill was talking about how his hands were better than Brandon Marshall's
Brandon
hands,
Marshall's.
because his are actually some of the best in NFL history
get the
because he's
fuck
so
out of here.
small. He's
I
so
don't know.
small, so his hands are better. And Brandon Marshall goes, dude, you never have made a one-handed catch of relevance.
Hmm.
And Tyreek goes, it's not about one-handed catches. He goes, I'm so open that I did. It was so stupid, and I'm like, dude, you
Tyreek, I have seen multiple balls bounce off your
bounce
own
off your
hands
fucking hand
and go into the other team's
in the
hands.
Super Bowl.
So
I thought
it's
that was
not.
funny for him
I
to
would
say
say
that.
he's the quickest, maybe the fastest I've ever seen. Like
Tyreek.
with the ball in his hands.
I mean, dude, yeah, I haven't seen a dude that
I'll say
fast on a
Dante Hall
football
was
field.
still crazier to watch than Tyreek Hill.
Sometimes.
Dude, I just
He was never as dynamic of a player. Like he was never as like because he was a dynamic player, but he was never.
I mean,
That
that
last
kick return against the
the last
Broncos.
touchdown we scored in regulation in the 13-second game.
Yeah.
Tyree gets that ball and it's just an
Across
over
the
the
middle.
middle route and just fucking
Yeah,
gone.
he had that explosion, but Dante Hall
And
had
he's done
joystick.
that multiple times. Like I just don't see
That's what I'm talking about.
that kind of speed.
Yeah, man. It's insane.
But the hands, no, fuck no.
But yeah,
We watched that. We watched the fucking second Super Bowl, but bro, no.
yeah, no, Brandon Marshall definitely better hands. Right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if he's better wide receiver overall necessarily. There's a conversation.
I do.
No,
But-
but there's 25 guys I'd take over Tyreek Hill's hands.
Yes, for sure.
For sure.
I mean, anything, what do we think of Rasheed Rice though? Like,
I-
wait and see.
Wait and see.
think
Obviously, I mean,
If he gets anything, it's going to be a couple games.
Couple
right?
games probably, right?
Yeah, and again, the big thing is as long if he didn't lie to the Chiefs, then I think everything's
I don't think he's had a
with
chance
us.
to talk to the Chiefs yet.
Probably.
we'll see. Rasheed Rice still hasn't been located by the police. Like they're still trying to
We don't know.
talk to him.
They just haven't come out and said anything differently so far, right?
I think the police would have said something.
Maybe. I don't know. I think they've talked to his lawyer and they haven't released anything yet.
These are Texas police. They're hyped up about everything. They find a fucking joint in somebody's car, they're gonna tweet about it. Texas
Okay.
police departments love that shit. So no, if they get a hold of Rasheed Rice, you'll hear about it. But
All right. That'll be fun. Hey, speaking of like, I don't know, doing bad things that could put you in jail or something like Shohei Ohtani, that's a fun story, right? His interpreter might have stolen $4.5 million.
I'm still under the impression that he didn't steal it. I think Shohei sent the money to pay off his gambling debts because that was the first thing they came out and said. And then I don't think they realized that was also against the law. And as soon as they found that out, they came out and they were like,
I
"Oh,
know.
we have changed our story."
But didn't they ask the interpreter too, like about it? Like, didn't they get that from the interpreter when there was like, yeah, he totally sent me the money. Like,
Yeah, but his people also came out and said stuff too.
so
but
apparently,
his interpreter
I
is
don't
his
know. It
people.
just seems.
So,
I think
no, here's-
Shohei was being nice because they were best friends,
Yeah,
I-
they developed
I
a
know.
very good
like
relationship.
100% best.
So
friends,
that's
so.
also a reason why if he were to be taken advantage of like this is one of the people who might be able to do it because
Yeah.
of how close they are
this is the only guy.
and because of their relationship, right? Like just because
So the way this guy's relationship is with this, like this is the only guy that speaks for Ohtani. Like it's the only guy that he talks to. Ohtani probably knows English, but he purposely does not speak because they're kind of the belief that like speaking to the media can only bring bad things, really.
They even went as far as saying
They're probably right.
he hadn't even spoken to
But
any of his
The
Dodgers.
level, like, if you think about the level of relationship, like Ohtani has to trust this dude with everything,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
has to trust that this dude is saying in English what Ohtani is actually saying.
right is conveying everything
Yeah.
correctly because
And here's the wild thing: they had the interpreter tell Ohtani
right they're
that the
asking,
interpreter was under investigation.
right, they're
There
asking.
was a
Ohtani-
4-day period that they were communicating all this with this interpreter before they brought in their own guy. Like
Why didn't we
that's
start
some
there?
wild, stupid
Why
shit.
why didn't
Like,
we start there? Why are you asking the interpreter
Yeah.
about himself?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
and,
like,
and then
is
trusting
even,
that he's
is this
going
dude even
to
telling you like relaying the correct message from Otani?
like
Like, holy shit.
what are we doing? What are we doing?
Fucking
It's a mess from the beginning. So that's why I think maybe Otani didn't know, you know?
And they're-
I'm thinking probably like I'm thinking it's probably no, because it's I don't
Why would
if I
Otani
remember right, if I remember hearing right, like this isn't like one or two massive bets that were made. Like this was like a series of bets
over
that
a long period
yeah.
of time?
Oh yeah.
And
But he
then
took
the
the
thing
money.
is like the amount that was being bet would be like in being versus like what would be won would be like it's just nothing to Otani.
I think what is it like he took the money in like 500,000 increments, right? Like
Yeah, it
500,000
was-
at a time over the
It was
period of like
two.
the
No,
last.
it was only two.
Was it only two?
He only sent $1 million. It was 2 wire transfers for 500,000.
And there was
But he
only two.
owes 4.2 million or something.
I thought he took all of it from like I thought he took all four over like a period of a few weeks or something like that.
They only found 2 wire transfers from Otani,
Okay.
and it was 2 for 500,000.
Then yeah, I can believe that's able to happen. And why would Otani ever like agree to something quite like this for an amount of money that's not going to make much difference to Shohei Otani?
Right. Yeah,
Like-
that's the thing. It's just like there's no like you got to show me like why he wants to do this. What's the value?
Why? But yeah, why would you take that money if you were Shohei for, you know,
Well, and it's
doesn't mean
the
it.
crazy thing.
Unless it's like purposely a side hustle for your friend.
Yeah. Well, the weird thing is too
Yeah,
is
that
like
makes sense to
the
put yourself
day
in some
after, the day after his interpreter came out and said that Otani borrowed him the money. They were in the dugout together, and they were still like joking around like always. Like there was
Yeah,
nothing
but-
weird. Like, hey, unless you know his guy.
I mean, it
lied to him.
depends.
I don't know. It's just weird.
Depends on what he said to him. It depends on, because at that time, like it wasn't a huge story quite yet.
Yeah. That's why I'm under the impression that Otani was being a good friend and just was like, "Hey, I'm going to pay
Yeah,
off your debts to get you out of this trouble."
Get you out of this jam.
And he didn't realize that it was illegal for him to do so. It's a federal crime to send money to a bookie, especially in California. I don't know.
Did you guys see
I
the
just feel like they backtracked to like
They
keep
might have.
Otani out of
That
trouble.
might be it.
It's
That might-
gonna
that's
be
what it felt like.
it's-
That's what it felt like at first, but then you could.
But then there's still people that
they're
believe
still
he's-
investigating. They're still investigating this.
Yeah, the
right?
FBI is investigating now.
Oh shit.
So
Oh yeah,
we'll
the
find
feds
out.
were in.
Yeah, we're gonna find out the truth.
It's not MLB doing it, so
Man, you're gonna know everything you want to know about show.
When the feds get that, yeah, they gonna
but
find
and
it.
like a lot of people believe that Otani was actually betting because like people have been putting out videos of there was a this amount dollar bet placed to the bookie. It was big numbers. The same day that Otani was pitching, and he gave up 7 runs this game, and he went 0 for 3 at plate, and like so, like people are like trying to like find games that he threw purposely. I'm like, I don't think he was betting on baseball.
No, like because
I
again,
don't-
there's not enough money in that.
No,
Yeah,
Jonte?
and he knows who Pete Rose is. Like he has to.
right. Baseball players know what happens if you
Yeah.
try to bet on games or do anything like that. Like, if they're not going to let the guy who has more hits than anybody in the history of the game into the Hall of Fame,
Right.
like for that shit, like maybe, they made their point.
I mean, it's funny. Nick Wright, not 2 weeks ago, was talking about how his big prediction is that there's going to be a major sports betting scandal within the next 5 years.
Well, you had Jonte Porter for the Toronto Raptors. Michael Porter Jr.'s brother from the Denver Nuggets. He's being investigated for influencing bets.
Hmm.
The people
Yeah, I saw
spot bets
that.
on him, like saying that he'll bet the under on his scoring, and then he'll like one game he played 4 minutes and left with an eye injury, but played the next night.
Right, right. And I mean, man,
One game
college
he
is
left after 3 minutes with an illness that was not reported before or
like
after the game.
NIL is gonna actually help with the issue in college, but I don't know if it's gonna help enough to get to all these players because that's where you can get that. The kids are still their brains aren't fully developed and they're not making the money yet.
That is an
Um,
NBA player.
do what?
He's an NBA player. Toronto Raptors.
Yeah, I saw a video where people were like, you can tell that he was trying to miss this three, and he throws one up, it goes in, and then you see his face like drop, like, oh shit, I was supposed to miss that.
What?
It's so
Wait.
funny.
So we already got an NBA player doing this shit?
Yeah.
Hey, the NBA, I'm
not
not
like a
surprised.
big- he's like-
You've already had
like
a
24 inch.
ref fixing games.
Back in the day, yeah.
True. Refs could be, they could be got too. Like,
Like refs, you believe though, because they're not making player money.
Watch
not.
Operation Flagrant Foul on Netflix. Untold.
What was that guy's name?
Oh fuck.
I remember it back in the 90s. I remember that. I just can't remember the guy's name.
I can't either off the top of my head.
And it was even when that happened, it was wild to me that it didn't really damage the NBA as much as you might think.
Yeah. Having a ref team.
And the
like,
NBA
throw
was
a
not in a
game.
great spot when it happened, I don't believe.
Tim Donahue.
Donahue, that's right.
Oh,
Fantastic. It's an Untold, so it's one of those. It's really good, but
yeah. I mean, I remember like the story vaguely, not from when I was a kid, but just from,
Yeah.
you know, general sports knowledge, but I haven't looked into I've never sat down with a documentary of the story.
Yeah. Like the
Never
guy
watched
he was
it.
closest to in the reffing community,
Yeah.
still in the NBA, cut reffing games.
It's Scott Foster.
Yes, it's Scott Foster.
Oh my god.
I believe it's Scott Foster.
And that guy's like a
Oops.
legendary fucking
That's Tim Donahue.
weird call guy.
Like he made a ton of Donahue made a ton of calls to Scott Foster, and Scott Foster was linked to that, but cleared. He was cleared of anything wrongdoing, but they said that Donahue maybe was influenced by that. It was a huge thing. That, like I said, that documentary is awesome.
But isn't Scott Foster known for terrible calls as well? Like it's like especially bad calls.
Yeah, is he the Angel Hernandez of the NBA?
I hear him
Jeez.
I only say that because I hear his name come up a lot.
He's like I've always found him to be kind of fair. He's kind of like the hockey league. This is how I always kind of thought of him.
All right.
Dude, hockey league are real bad at the end.
What's that?
Hockey League.
Like the last 2 or 3 years of
Yeah.
hockey league's career, he was fucking terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how it goes with a lot of them. They get old, right? Their eyes don't work like they used to.
Yeah,
But
but
I'm jacked. Man, what's your brain
Hey,
work, man?
how about some of them rule changes, right?
oh, the
Let's see.
kickoff.
The
The
kickoff, we all
kickoff!
love this, right? Like, I think this is one that everybody is like, hey, something we can all agree upon. Let's
We'll
fix
see.
the kickoff.
I like it.
I think it's something. At least they're
You had to
trying
do
to keep.
something because this is the year Devin Hester gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. You can't have the fucking play just be.
It's so
You
fucking
can't have
fun.
it be an 80% touchback rate anymore.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
an
it was-
there were 13 kickoff opportunities in the Super Bowl, 0 attempts at returns.
Yeah, dude.
All
They're
the
they're like,
80-20 touchback to return ratio.
dude. They said throughout the year, it's resulted in like 2,000 non-plays, right? Just like of all the kickoffs that just don't get returned.
Yeah, and in the XFL, they use this similar model to this. They
It's
only
gonna make it a
one
lot more fun.
return to a touchdown. It's just gonna it's gonna de-incentivize kicking it out of the fucking end zone.
Right.
Because
Giving the
now,
return team like that 5 extra yards of cushion, like there's room to like
yeah,
scheme up guys and do a little trickery back there. Like I think it's gonna be a lot of fun if special teams coordinators really dig into it,
embrace it.
which I think they are, right? I think everybody kind of likes this, that they're trying to keep it alive. And it's
I would
you
like
know,
to see them take it because right now they have it to where it has to be like a straight line, both of them lined up on the line, all the players. I would like to see them be able to stagger that on the
Yeah.
return team a little bit. Maybe put like 3 guys back off that line. But other than that, I think it's a great rule.
yeah. I mean no more surprise onside kick. You have to like
Yeah.
Yeah.
tell the other team. And then they brought back like kind of the older onside kick rules as far as how you can line up for one now because it's like an announced onside kick. I don't know.
We'll see. I mean,
Anyway,
listen, that play was a dying play. If we get anything out of it, then it's a win. I honestly think they should move the kicker 10 yards further back and have him kick off from further away. To just have him kick off from the original kickoff spot.
I think instead of onside kicks, we should do a 4th and like 20. You get one chance to pick up the first down.
we should.
That
And
was, I think, the XFL's
that's been floating
model
around too.
that they floated around.
They
I
had
don't hate that.
they had one where it was like a 4th and 12, I think. In the league, the
Oh.
idea, yeah,
No,
the
'cause
idea I've
Mahomes
heard
would pick it up
proposed,
there.
the idea I've
Dude, yeah,
heard
it'd be
proposed,
100% fucking go rate.
yeah, the idea I've heard proposed is more like a 4th and 20. Which, and it can only be done during maybe the last 5 minutes or so of a game. But
I hate
they,
that.
they didn't go with that one this year. I mean, obviously, but
Like
going
if a team
forward,
is good enough that they can just like pick up 4th and 25s on your ass all day.
yeah, but that's why they said you
Like,
can
don't
only
you
do
want to
it.
see? But you kind of want to see that,
You
don't
can
you?
only do it at the end, like the last 5 minutes of a game.
I know. That's why I'm saying F that.
You want it all game.
Want it
Yeah,
all, you
if you-
do
if-
want it all game. Maybe. I mean, it would be tough. I don't think any offense is like 4th and 20, let's go. Because then if you don't convert it, the other team gets the ball like right there.
Well, when we had Reek, I feel like we could have picked that up every time or close to it.
Yeah, dude, the Tyreek years, like we were
I
picking
mean,
those up for
but dude,
fun.
4th and 20 though, that's a little too far. Like 15, maybe. 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
Not a
honestly,
I don't love it.
I honestly think 4th and 20 is maybe the sweet spot, but 25 is probably better. Dude, I see teams that can pick up 20 yards like that constantly.
Nah, man. I think 4th and 20 is tough. And if you're a defense and you can't stop 4th and 20, come on.
Yeah.
You can't stop 4th and 20.
I like the onside kick, honestly. I don't like that they have to announce it, but
I mean, there's no other way because you have to line up a certain way. Like,
yeah, and I mean it's like they have to I hate that they have to announce it, but honestly, it's always kind of fucking it's gonna happen. An onside kick is it's very rarely a surprise onside kick.
yeah, well, tell that to Peyton Manning and
Rarely.
The-
I didn't say it never happened, Sam.
who was their coach that year?
Jim Caldwell.
Jim
Yeah,
Caldwell.
tell that to Jim Caldwell in the Super Bowl.
I
Yeah.
know obviously that it has happened. There's been surprise onside kicks, but normally an onside kick is going to fucking happen.
That's why it doesn't matter that they got rid of the surprise onside kick, is because it's talking about something that happened
Normally
2
they
times a
already
year.
they're not shuffling around having to call a fucking timeout every time a team lines up for not. Oh my god, I didn't know this team that was down by 14 with 7 minutes.
Usually why you don't, the only time you see surprise onside kicks are like at the beginning of the game or like, or a half. like in the
Exactly.
Super Bowl. So yes, it doesn't matter that much. That's why it's okay.
Yeah. I can live with
let's
it.
get,
Well,
let's
they
get to
also-
the,
Don't
Okay,
don't they go back and do the onside kick from the normal spot?
yeah, it gets back from the normal spot. So, okay, let's get on to the rule that everybody actually like is up in arms about. That's big controversial with the hip drop tackle. How much do you think it's really going to affect?
I think
I think
the
Derrick
league?
Henry's going to have a huge year.
So
McDuffie's gonna struggle because that's how he
Yeah.
tackles.
it's
So the
confusing.
way it seems to be going is once a year, or at the beginning of every season, the NFL is going to have a new either a new rule or a rule they're going to put emphasis on, quote unquote. And it fucks the game like for the first 12 weeks of the year, it fucks everybody up.
Kind
Like
of
they do
does.
this shit every year.
Like one thing I saw,
There's
like
a new thing every year, and now you're putting in something that nobody can really seem to tell me what is and what isn't.
Isn't a hip drop. That's the real problem with this is that it's so convoluted. A lot of people seem to mistake that the hip and hip drop is like the guy being tackled hip, and it's referring to the player who's doing the tackling.
Yeah.
like
Tim
what I
So
saw
it's talking
dropping
about
to his
about
butt.
was saying that this is not going to be a rule you see.
hip, the swivel, the tackle from behind, right, and
It's
then
going to be
drop and
so
swivel.
hard for them to tell. They're probably not going to see a huge uptick on the field, but you're going to see it hit the pocketbook more of the
That's
play.
what I yeah.
That's what a lot of them
Yeah,
expect.
they're just stealing money.
That they're
Brandon
going to
Bean
probably
on
find players
McAfee's
for
show
more
is
this year.
saying,
Yeah,
yeah, they're probably not gonna see, call it on the field too much.
because
But
Oh, horse shit.
I know that
Oh,
might be
yeah.
horseshit. That might be total horseshit.
They're
And
going to
Now, if
practice
they
against the
can,
Chiefs.
the one place I'll accept it, and I kind of agree with is ones where the guys do when they drop, they land on the guy's legs
legs, like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's
behind
what
him.
they're
Like
think
I don't
that's
like
what
that.
they-
Like
I
that
think
can
that
just
is-
wreck ACLs.
So what
That's
they
what
said
they're
is
trying to
this
get
is-
out.
This is a play that has become popularized since the horse collar tackle has been banned. Has been the hip drop tackle. The hip drop tackle, it's
I don't know,
another
'cause, like,
form of
The
motion
horse
that
collar's been banned
player-
for a while.
and this play has been allowed to go for a while. The hip drop tackle has
But
been there
the
for a
hip
while.
drop, most players say they've never, like, they were never taught the hip drop tackle, and the hip drop tackle, nobody knew what that was before 2 years ago when they like banned it in rugby, and people were like, "What?" And people in American football had no idea what the fuck this tackle was.
Just
And
because it had never been referred to,
I
But I mean, it was like a
I
form of
understand,
way of
but
like technique on the way they were tackling, and
depending on who you ask, they're like, this tackle almost never happens.
then
They're
it
like,
should not affect the game much.
that's what they're saying as well.
Why
Like,
are we complaining about it? Let's move on if it's not a play that's ever
I don't know,
been.
man. So
Yeah,
I think on
again,
That's a straight lie though. We watch football. We see
Hey,
that
I
fucking
know.
tackle 10 times a
All
game.
right,
Yeah,
but I'm
that's what I'm
telling
saying.
you, what Saquon Barkley said. If you watch New Heights, was like, I've been tackled like that twice that I can remember my entire career. So it's not
No, I'm
like,
not. I'm not yelling at you, Sam. I'm just you're the
I know.
messenger of the. But it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, then.
I'm just yeah.
That's
So
how McDuffie tackles. So
it
Yeah,
almost
seems like
every tackle.
it seems like it happens a lot. When they show me that tackle, I'm like, this seems like a normal tackle. This seems like a tackle I have seen a lot. When you showing me different, when I see different examples of it, I'm like, I'm not sure I see how these are all hip drop tackles. And I think
Yeah.
that's a big problem is that two people can look at the same play and one can come out thinking, oh yeah, that was a clear cut hip drop tackle. While the other person's like, I have no idea what you're talking
One
about.
thing the
When I've seen the
NFL
roughing and taunting calls that I've seen on Chris Jones, imagine what they're going to do to him when he sacks the quarterback.
I know,
My
man.
thing is
What are you supposed to do?
When he literally
I'm
rips
gonna
the ball out of your hand as he's tackling you.
it's gonna have fans and coaches holding their breath every time somebody gets tackled.
the NFL is trying to eliminate every play that could possibly injure a player.
I know,
Not
man.
possible.
And they
Exactly. It's not fucking
That's
possible. You're not going to
game.
get rid of all of these
I-
plays. There's so many
I-
plays in every game that a player can get.
Anything they want to do to protect the player's head and brain,
All for it.
I'm in. I'm 100% in.
Just
Yeah.
get rid of
Dude,
pads.
Anything
Let's-
lower than
Get rid of
that,
pads and helmets.
hey, let's get
It'll fix
down to
itself.
why, like, yeah, again, the league wants to scream player safety for this rule, and yet they're not doing the one, like, no player or coach or anybody in the league really wants this rule change, was asking for it at all. What the thing they were asking for that's going to save you a lot of injuries actually is grass.
yeah.
Having grass versus turf.
Hey.
It's the one thing all your players are calling for.
Listen, they'll get it. They're going to do it for the World Cup, and they'll. and see how, and they might
To
say,
prove they can. They're gonna show and prove that we can do this, but no, fuck you. We're gonna take it right back out.
no, do you see,
Put in
what was it,
because we care so much about player safety. Oh, and let's get an
funniest was
18th game in
Irsay's
here.
daughter,
Probably
Irsay's
can't.
daughter on McAfee show talking about how we're actually trying to develop a hybrid that's safer than both right now.
Okay, well, until that science comes in, put in some real fucking grass. Like
But they're dumb, you know, like,
trying to develop a hybrid. Get the
Yeah.
fuck
But
out of here.
maintenance.
That's what you get paid for as a fucking grounds crew guy.
Right?
Maintenance
So-
of the ground.
A lot of things, yeah. It's going to be a very interesting year to see how much they actually call it, when they call it, the consistency on it. But we all know that the last thing we want is the refs to have to make more, you know,
game. And
yeah, game defining plays or calls.
you're making it so easy for the offense too. Like,
Dude, you know,
all right, there are 17 different ways you can't tackle. Can you show us the way you can? No, I cannot do that because it's not possible. But it's still tackle football.
we'll
Yes,
see. Man,
Yeah,
if it does,
I'm real curious about how a corner is going to bring down a fucking tight end.
well, especially
Yeah.
once they get by him. Like, how are you supposed to tackle somebody
Hey,
running that's
Kelsey,
running
Kelsey and
you're
Kittle
running
are about
behind
to have
or to the
fucking
side?
monster years.
Oh, dude, the yak stats this year are going to be crazy.
First round.
When,
First
when a
round.
guy's running by you and you're going to hit him from the side, it looks like you have to naturally hip drop, right? You have to.
There's not, yeah, you can't, like, there's nothing, you can't slow him down up here. That's horse collar.
Right.
Can't
Oh, so are
drop,
they just
you
gonna?
can't fucking grab his hips.
People are. Hey, man, we're gonna see a lot of knees blown out now. And like, I have to go at the legs and the knees.
Like anybody carrying the ball, their legs are too goddamn strong. You can't,
Maybe
like everybody in the NFL is so athletic now.
running backs for sure. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why
Derrick Henry again.
Head.
Derrick Henry's going to fucking. But no, I don't want it. I'm trying to talk it out of my existence.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, but it's the only way anyone's ever been able to tackle Derrick Henry. Otherwise, he just throws you
And
off.
the NFL is going to force the running game back into prominence.
They're gonna force teams to play or pay running backs.
And
They're
everybody
gonna
thought
be
they
so
were
good because they
I
can't be
mean,
tackled.
let's come on.
Or
Running backs get tackled
or-
from the front.
the entire
9 times out of
secondary
10.
plays so far back that nobody can throw deep anymore.
Well, they're kind of
so they can
already
keep
doing.
everything in front of them to make a tackle.
They're already doing that. If you're the Chiefs,
Yeah, they're
If
already
you've
doing
been
it.
watching Chiefs games. You're used to that. You're like, that's just the league.
Now everybody's going to get that treatment.
Oh, fine.
Which, I mean, that works out for us.
Except
out
for the
great.
Ravens, you're still going to put 9 in a box against them. Because they
I
still.
mean, are you afraid of Lamar throwing? I'm
No.
not.
Especially
we
when
dared
they
I
him.
never have been.
Dared him. People are like, why did Baltimore go away from the run game the whole time? And it's like, because we were daring them to throw it. We're like, please
Enjoy. Enjoy.
go for it.
People
And then he did.
that you
You know,
brought
it's
in
gonna make
can't
that
get
a
open.
lot. It's gonna make it a lot harder not having Snead and McDuffie back there next year. My God, like no wonder we won 2
Dude,
fucking.
I'm just as excited to see who the next Snead's going to be.
I think it's Williams.
It could be.
I think he's
This
got
is
the
like Kansas City
Or
is
Watson.
a cornerback factory.
Yeah.
We are a corner,
Watson's
like a
good,
secondary
Williams good.
factory, honestly.
We
I
are.
think the 3 of them, and then I think Najee Johnson's going to fill a nice role. I think we're set at that position, and I am going to miss Snead. I'm not. I think that
for sure.
Dude, I miss all
don't
these
have a
corners that
Snead.
we trade away.
Snead's just an all around great corner. He does everything. He does everything, and he does
Again,
it well.
that trade was perfect because again he went to a non-contender. And do you think in the next 3 years like Tennessee is in our path? I don't.
Probably not. I didn't see it. Nobody really saw it that Tannehill that year that sprouted up though.
Yeah,
we'll have to see how they do in the draft. I mean, I think they've made some wise moves. I mean, they spent a shit ton of money to make these moves, but I mean, I think getting Calvin Ridley was a solid pickup because they still also have DeAndre Hopkins.
But yeah, Will
Like,
Levis doesn't really.
They
he doesn't
also
strike
brought
fear
in
in you.
Tony Pollard, solid pickup. Obviously, not Derrick Henry, moving in a different direction. coach, a new coach. No,
Why?
don't
I have no
understand,
idea.
but I think that I mean, Will Levis. We'll see if he's the dude. We'll find
Why
out.
after like
Club.
I think the truly great ones will still find a way to be great. Like, I'm not saying like Tom Brady would have won 6 championships with any other team, but I think maybe he would have found a way to be successful. In event, I
We'll never. Yeah.
just saying.
Tom Brady had been drafted by the Lions. That dude would never have been in the playoffs.
I don't know. I don't know.
Bills. I think there's a lot of times and he would have been failed.
Maybe, man. I think most of the greats will find it.
Maybe if he had been drafted by any other team in the AFC
Great.
East.
But I think if you have a guy like, Russell Wilson, obviously that is now you have a guy who is very dependent, who you could go a long way with under the right coach. Where coaching and development is, of course, it's very
Pete
important.
Carroll's a legend coach, though. Like that's what
Yeah.
I'm talking about. Like that dude knows how to develop a quarterback.
Yeah, no, yeah, I'm not saying that, but that's where I agree.
How to get the
I think-
most
I
out
thi-
of a guy who
I
probably
think
isn't that good.
Patrick Mahomes would have been great anywhere. Does he have 3 titles and 2 MVPs if he's not with Andy Reid? They're probably not. But I think he's still going to be great. Like I think he would show that talent, and he would be, like a
The
Josh
only
Allen,
other
who
place I
everybody
think he
knew
would
was
have had
great,
similar
but maybe he doesn't
success is
have
San
the.
Francisco.
What's that?
The only other place I think he would have had similar success is San Francisco.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah.
He maybe other places. The Rams with McVay, he could do a lot with that dude. Like there's
That's fair.
different
That's fair.
places. McFleur, I think any of the good offensive minded coaches could have done a lot with them. And
Yeah,
it's
so if the
Mahomes. Like,
Rams had
that's-
never had to make that insane trade for
I'm
Stafford,
just, yeah. But I was just saying, like with Mahomes, he would have been great no matter where he would have gone. I don't know if he would have had obviously the success with every coach that he's had here, but I think he would have been great no matter what.
but like, would he though? Because
Yeah.
the reason
Yeah, I
the
think
reason
he would have been great. I think he would have been
question
great.
that the reason I question that is not because I think Patrick Mahomes can't be great. It's because would he have had the leeway to do what he does? Number one, would any other coach let him like go out there and do that shit as a starting quarterback?
Once he goes out
They
there,
probably
and
wouldn't
does
even
it,
let him in the games if he was
like,
trying
that's the
if he was trying sidearms and fucking left-handed passes like they.
I think eventually, I think coaches would.
Yeah.
He was picked high enough that he would have gotten a shot. Absolutely would have got a shot. And once they saw that he goes out there and he does it and it works, like,
But he had the players around him to make it work. Is the thing.
also
Like,
true. He doesn't have the wide receivers nowadays to make some of that
Patrick
shit. Like,
that if they imagine if he had that receiver group in year 1.
yeah, dude. Patrick, if you do the highlights Patrick
wouldn't have looked
Mahomes
good.
has from his first 2-3 years, right? Yeah, was phenomenal. But these past couple of years, he's won 2 Super Bowls. Like he's won more Super Bowls with less to work around and less great highlights because he doesn't have a lot of those same guys around him.
Yeah, just like if in year 1, if it had looked that bad,
I don't think
on another team, like they'd probably yank him. And then
no, I don't think it's that bad. No, I think he goes out there and he shows that he's
I'm not saying any other
an
team,
insane
but like the bad ones,
talent that you can't let go.
If that dude had ended up on the Panthers, I think he'd already be like a.
I certainly think that Andy Reid,
One that I used to know.
is probably the difference in some championships for him. But I think Mahomes still churns out a Hall of Fame career, probably some league MVPs, a ring, maybe 2, depending on who his other coaches are throughout his career. Maybe, I don't know. Dan Marino had been on some other teams. Maybe he has a ring going around.
Maybe.
Right?
Dan got to the Super Bowl. He just fucking choked in the big game.
Well, I know, but he didn't get his ring. Yeah, we know he got out there. But
Dan Marino's an asshole.
and there's
He got what he deserved. Nothing. Fuck
All right.
that guy.
Ooh,
He's a great quarterback.
I went back and watched some Marino highlights. Jesus Christ.
He's fucking outstanding, but the dude choked. He's a choke artist.
Wow.
That dude-
Okay.
He was the
There's
opposite
something
of
to be
Eli
said.
Manning.
There is something to be said, and we've talked about a lot for the clutch gene, right? Some
Yeah.
guys have it. Some guys, like with Mahomes, he got it. He got it.
You do. Real quick before we go, did you guys see that Cowboys and Ezekiel Elliott might be getting back together?
Why?
I mean,
Because there's a mutual need.
Jerry Jones just loves him some Zeke. Like Jerry Jones cannot.
I mean,
He
in
can't
Zeke-
quit
the,
him.
the
in Zeke's
Cowboys running
defense,
back
he
room is
finished-
currently Deuce Vaughn and some other guys you've never heard of.
in Ezekiel Elliott's defense, he finished the season very strong with New England after Stevenson got hurt.
Okay, sure.
Zeke was the leading rusher on that team. When
Zeke is probably going to be super cheap.
yeah, I mean he averaged I think like 3.5 per carry on that Patriots team. Like take
All
that
right.
into account. It was on that Patriots team.
It's where he let him go back to Dallas. It's where he's meant to be. I wouldn't be.
A cheap deal, but they have a need. It's a position of need for them. They didn't do anything at that position.
It'll work out
As a
for
Dallas
both.
hater, I fully support the decision.
Same here. I love it for the Cowboys.
Absolutely. I would love to see it. Let's do it. Get back together.
It would be funny if the Eagles signed him as the backup to Saquon Barkley just to say fuck both of them. And
Well,
then
I'm still really curious as to what they're going to do about Dak's contract, though.
Ooh, that is a good one.
There's a lot of talk that the Cowboys are willing to walk away.
Yeah. The Cowboys are like, hey, let's let this last year play out. And then we'll see.
it worked out well for him last time. That's what got him into this mess.
That's true.
They're fucking.
So let's hope they do it again.
I think
I love it.
unless they win a Super Bowl, like you let them get them.
Jerry Jones
How
won't
old
do
is he
that.
now?
He'll be like,
How old is Dak?
Dak will win a playoff game, and Jerry Jones will be like, well, we're just like 1 or 2 pieces away, you know. We're really getting close.
Good. I hope for that.
Yeah, me too. He's like fucking Bill Murray and Groundhog Day.
He's 30. He'll be 31 in July.
But walking
Like-
away from Dak would be the smartest thing they could ever do. Because he's not going to win a Super Bowl. He's just not.
If
They
he
might
if
actually
he
have to go with
if
Trey
he
Lance.
chokes in the playoffs again, or if they, which they probably will, and there's gonna be teams that throw the bag at Dak. If Dak
Oh,
walks in
yeah.
free agency, there will be teams. He'll only be 31 after
Vikings.
the season. Like
Oh yeah, the buy.
he'll be
Yeah, there's
Whoever
tons of-
drafts
32
JJ
going
McCarthy.
into the following season. He'll be
Whoever drafts JJ McCarthy will be wanting to sign Dak Prescott to replace JJ McCarthy next year.
But yeah, you could see somebody's going to sign him for his 32 to 36 years, right? Give him like a big old 4-year deal.
He's gonna be a Viking, guys. Let's be for real.
Could easily be a Viking.
Is that not the most Vikings thing?
If the Vikings don't trade up, you don't
Is
think
this
the
a
Vikings are going to
quarterback
trade up?
that is the first team that popped in my head.
Is it the quarterback that can't possibly win us a Super Bowl? Then we want him. We need him.
Could
we
be
are
the Panthers. Could be the Panthers.
I think Dak might want to stick it to the Cowboys though and go sign with New York or Washington.
Ooh, it could be the Giants. Oh my God, it could be either one. Shit.
I think the Commanders might.
The Giants are dumping Daniel Jones after this year. We all know that.
Yeah.
And then the Commanders don't even have a plan.
Dak to the
Quarterback.
Giants would be
Commanders are second
fucking
pick
wild.
overall. Dude,
Well, okay, we'll see. We'll
the
see how
Commanders
that
picked
goes.
Drake May or Jaden Daniels.
That's true.
and they got a good, decent receiving core.
Okay, so you're right. It's
They've
gonna be
actually got
the
the best
Giants.
plan
I'm
of-
sorry. You're right. They're gonna take Giants.
But Dak is locked into the Cowboys for this year, right? Yeah.
Huge cap
But the-
hit, I think, to cut him.
But the
Yeah, but it's still a
Cowboys-
$60 million cap hit.
Oh yeah, it's massive.
oh yeah,
So
Cowboys are locked in
they
though.
gotta take that $60 million hit.
No
or
trade
negotiate
clause.
a new contract.
No trade clause. No. tag
He's
clause.
it's ironclad for Dak.
Bench
No
his
trade,
ass-
no tag.
bench his ass and see what you got in Trey Lance.
But yeah, it's gonna be interesting
I
to
like-
see how things play out.
Man, this would be so late to trade. Like to like get a quarterback in there learning your system and shit.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll do it though. maybe.
Like what do you think?
They'll place McCarthy and Dak. in
Number
the same
one,
year,
like
though.
it would have to be like if they could even like get rid of him, like Dak would have to approve the trade.
He would, but I think I don't know if they
But
get rid of
but again, like
give him and McCarthy one
I
more
don't-
year. if they can't do it, get rid of McCarthy and Dak. Start the rebuild.
I think you had to. I mean, they're both terrible.
Yeah, doesn't matter how they do in the regular season. It's all about playoffs.
But anyway, on that note, guys, I think we did it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we did it. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, maybe share the video. Try it. See what happens. It'll make Tim smile.
And there he is.
It'll brighten Tim's day.
I finished Cyberpunk, but I've been playing. After that, I started.